After being battered by the wind and the rain on stage number 3, Mother Nature finally smiled on the peloton for the start of stage 4 of the 2014 Tour of Qinghai Lake. The riders had a chance to decompress and review their rides earlier in the week. We caught up with Jim Stemper of the 5-Hour Energy presented by Kenda team, who spent a day in the breakaway.
That was, I thought we had a pretty good chance. We were riding very well together, and then again, some real bad luck in the breakaway with a crash, and one guy came across and we got a little bit of a gap, and I thought coming in maybe we'd win, and I don't know, more disappointment. So we're hanging in there, and we're gonna do our best to make something happen later in the race.
Stage 4 would promise another day for the sprinters with an almost pancake flat profile over the 204 kilometers. But first, the riders would see a small bump in the road 23 kilometers in for the first and only KOM of the day. Then 3 green jersey sprints would await the riders as they wound their way around Qinghai Lake at 59, 85, and 112 kilometers. After the third and final green jersey sprint of the day, the riders would finish up with a flat sprint into the county of Black Horse Lake. As the jerseys assembled on the front for the start of Stage 4 in Qinghai County, a noticeably lighter mood spread through the peloton as the race got underway. The first goal would be KOM number 1, the first and only KOM of the day, as the riders got to it early. It would be an attack by the current KOM leader, Gander Mizbani of the TPT cycling team, that would take a few riders off the front, following him away. Mizbani would end up taking maximum points up and over the first and only climb of the day. As the road flattened out after the KOM, it would be the green jersey contenders coming to the front for the first sprint of the day. A breakaway started by 5 riders eventually ballooned to 10 and got over a minute on the peloton heading into sprint number 1. Ali Kadimi was the first rider to cross the line, followed by Vusters Lojkovic and Edvaldas Siskevicius, the third rider to cross in sprint number 1. After sprint number 1, the break hit it hard, dropping riders out of the group and eventually leaving just 4 riders remaining off the front. It would be Gonçalves of the La Palme Marseille team taking maximum points through sprint number 2, followed by Pavel Gatsky of the Astana team and Amir Kolatazov taking third. As those riders continued to work together in the breakaway, the third and final sprint of the day was identical to sprint number 2, with Gonçalves taking maximum points for the La Palme Marseille team. After losing 1 rider out of the breakaway, the 3 riders remained, trying to fight on the front to stay away to the line, but the field would begin the slow process of reeling those riders back in as the sprinters' teams came to the front to set up for what would be an inevitable field sprint. The break was caught just a few kilometers before the line as the sprint coming into the finish was led by the United Healthcare team, who had a perfect position but began their sprint just a little too early, heating the way to Astana as it was Marco Banfato taking his second stage win of the Tour of Qinghai Lake.
Yes, the difficulty in this race is the altitude, because there are no oxygen. And when you start for sprint, you are maybe full gas. And before this race, I go in mountain for training, and I have a good condition. And I think if there are other sprint possible, good result.
Banfato was trailed by Mehdi Sorabi of the TPT cycling team, taking second place on the podium as German Robert Forster of United Healthcare found third. Ilya Davidjonik of the Astana team held on to the blue jersey as the top Asian rider at the Tour of Qinghai Lake, and the polka dot jersey remained on the back of Mizbani. Banfato donned the green jersey just 1 point ahead in the sprint competition of Alexander Polivoda of the Cole cycling team, who remained in yellow as the overall race leader with another razor-thin margin heading into stage number 5 tomorrow. For 7 Cycling, this is Brad Soner at the Tour of Qinghai Lake.
步随心，我选银联。